BCB presents Pro Wrestling Weekly.
Enough is enough, and it's time for a change!
I can't believe I'm putting my voice to this.
Call in with a question or comment at 215-949-3232 or 888-922-2149.
Thank you for your irrelevant opinion.
And now, here's your host of Pro Wrestling Weekly, Fearon Derry.
The first thing you need to do is to tell these people to shut up if you want to hear what I gotta say. I'm a broadcast journalist. I have a right to my opinion.
Oh, son of a...
I am the best on this microphone, in that ring, even in commentary.
There's the sound of the bell, and we are set to go. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly, heard here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. I'm your host, Fearon Derry, alongside Lucas the intern.
Wow, this is
Yeah, I'm doing double duty here. I'm
coming off of a big win with the Chamonix Pensbury. I'm in a very...
Oh, you had to rub that in, of course.
I didn't want to... No, I'm not rubbing it in because it's a friendly... Well, not a very friendly rivalry. I just want to say about the game that they were doing a lot of Jim Duggan specials, so to speak. They were taking...
brawls to the back, double countouts?
Yeah, but it was like... It was more of... When they were tackling, they were completely bringing it over to the sidelines.
It's okay. Don't worry. I've got revenge already planned.
There was a funny thing actually.
Real quick.
My old graphic design teacher, Mr. Barnes, was on the sidelines, and he has like a thing in his legs with arthritis. So whenever there was a play off to the sidelines, he would haul ass over to the sidelines, and he would run all the way over to the track. Not even like.
Well, yeah, he wanted to make sure to get out of the way. But I mean,
but it was very funny. I just immediately thought Jim Duggan special every time.
Just get out of the way.
Yeah, get out of the way.
Exactly. Well, that's all right. Well, while you have that, let's talk about Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
And our predictions mostly certain to go wrong.
I think I did pretty good.
Have you looked at the results?
No.
All right. Well, we'll go over them one by one. We'll start off with the 2 out of 3 falls match, Dolph Ziggler and Cesaro. For the Intercontinental Championship, we both figured that Ziggler would win, although what kind of surprised me, Ziggler went 2-0 over Cesaro.
Clean sweep. I think that's the new thing with 2 out of 3 falls. They just clean sweep it. With the Shield and...
It gives it that unpredictability, because usually when you hear 2 out of 3 falls, you figure, all right, here we go. It's going to go... One's going to win the first one, the other's going to win the second one, then the third fall is going to be the one that matters, but not necessarily in this case. Nikki Bella defeating Brie Bella, and now Brie is Nikki's personal assistant for the next 30 days.
Look, I think this could be a very good angle. I mean, okay, they're not the best. I think they're better when they're on Total Divas when it comes to talking, and they're all right wrestlers.
And they're not overacting, you mean?
Yeah, really. Say it to our face! I'd rather not. I'd rather do many other things.
And how about that music, that auto-tune?
Remote. You know, just...
Exactly. All right, next
just come up to Daniel Bryan's music.
No, because that'll just get fans hyped up and whatnot.
Yeah.
Then you have Goldust and Stardust defeating the Usos to retain the WWE Tag Team Championship. We both expected and figured that would be the case. And then things kind of went awry from there, at least as far as your picks went.
Oh, yeah.
The first Hell in a Cell match, John Cena beating Randy Orton in a little over 25 minutes. Not a bad match, considering that we've seen quite a bit from both of those guys in the past.
And I think it was also because they didn't main event. That was the other thing.
True, you saw them in the middle of the pay-per-view.
They literally mid-carded a pay-per-view.
But you figured that the RKO out of nowhere would suffice because of all of the vines that have been going on recently, and I said not to bet against John Cena, and yeah, I had that one. Sheamus pinning The Miz to retain the U.S. Championship.
Yeah. Yeah,
Although Mizdow was probably the most entertaining part.
Oh, yeah, that was very funny. And I thought that Sheamus was going to bro kick Mizdow, but I still think he could set up for a Mizdow-Sheamus. I mean, not Mizdow-Sheamus, Mizdow-Miz feud, you know.
Possibly, since it looks like somebody else has their eye on the United States Championship, which we'll get into a little bit later. Or we could get into it now, since the next match was Rusev.
Yeah.
Beating the Big Show by submission.
And you know what? Speaking of which, after that, I'll have to say that Brett was right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Finally, the Divas Championship, AJ Lee against Paige. AJ Lee retaining the Divas title.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't complain.
Well, of course you can't complain.
Of course.
Yeah. Either way, you win. But as far as your prediction, not so much.
Yeah.
And then finally, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins. Rollins beating Ambrose thanks to some interesting interference at the end. Well, not only came with a fire extinguisher, which already kind of made it.
Yeah.
I expected that.
I thought that was pretty funny, actually, because he just got in Ambrose's face and he's like, ugh. It was like when a cat gets, or when you blow on a dog's nose and he's like, ugh, just a little bit disoriented, but then he's like a little bit.
It's good that you described it because that physical motion that you were doing doesn't exactly translate to the listeners.
If only we had somebody taking a video and then put it up on the web or something like that.
No, nobody should be put through that. But yes, Bray Wyatt appearing for the first time in a while, at least in person. He's been kind of put on the back burner, but
I thought it was...
You had the Obi-Wan, help me Obi-Wan, you're my only hope holograph going on, or hologram.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. They made it in the video package look a lot better than it actually did on Raw, but I still say I feel like it was just the fact that the crowd was dead, and with Wyatt, it wasn't as fast paced. It was sort of like, moseying along, but it was still. I still think it made. I want to see a Dean Ambrose Bray Wyatt feud.
Well, yeah, the two are going to be able to talk everybody into the seats, and then it's just a matter of will they be able to deliver in the ring. But
here's the thing, though, with Ambrose, and he can cut good promos, but he sounds a little bit slurred. He's just like, I'm going to eat your face. Sounds a little bit slurred.
Maybe he had one too many hot dogs from that hot dog cart. I don't know.
I mean, come on, Coney Island sells quality hot dogs. Since
can't say I've ever been.
Yeah, neither have I. But
But
shameless
I
plug.
can say regarding the picks for Hell in a Cell that I've been to a place that I've only been twice before since taking over this show 5.5 years ago. That's right. I went 8 for 8. Perfection. You'd be able to hear the theme if you had your headphones on.
No, I can hear the theme. I can hear the theme.
Oh, very good. Oh, okay. You have them off to the side. Still, it's good etiquette to have headphones. These are the things you need to learn.
It's because the one headphone just keeps sliding.
Oh, okay. It's not secured into place.
Yeah.
All right.
So I'm probably going to have to run to the back door.
Top notch.
Yeah.
Top notch. Yes, 8-0 for the pay-per-view. For the year, 59-22, whereas you are 44-30, a respectable 44-30. Not too shabby. But yes, for only the third time, I think, since taking over.
Oh, what's up, Harry?
Not too bad. Alrighty, I was going to say, I don't even know where we want to go. Well, probably the other big thing to talk about, apart from the fallout of Hell in a Cell, is the state of Vince McMahon's financial status.
I came to a bit of an epiphany last night about that. And look, WWE, there's no denying that WWE, media-wise, has more publicity than it's ever had. It's probably at the biggest that it's been, media-wise, because everybody, even if you don't watch wrestling, you know who some of the guys are. I mean, even with the football game last night, you had guys, whenever we'd score a touchdown, we'd go, woo, I swear to God, they were doing the Nature Boy walk, and I was doing it right along with them. But I don't understand why financially they're doing so bad. Because if you think of the network, it's 24/7 wrestling. If you're a wrestling fan, even if you don't like the content that's going on right now on Raw and SmackDown, you still don't have an excuse. You can still go back and watch old ECW or Nitro or documentaries. The content that they're spilling out is amazing. And I'm not doing this to plug. It's the truth because I've been watching the network and I'm a loyal subscriber. But this is like unbiased. This is completely fact. They have so much content. Even if you don't like the programming that's going on right now, you don't have an excuse.
Well, I think that's part of it, is they're trying to focus more on the now because Vince McMahon doesn't exactly like history.
Yeah, but then why
He'd probably frown upon my Today in Wrestling History segment on this show, for example, because why are you looking at the past? What's the matter with you?
I don't even think he listens to the show.
I don't know.
Probably trying to get his wife back in the Senate for the third time.
If he was listening, he'd probably say something like,
This whole thing is embarrassing. It really is.
yeah, most definitely.
Very embarrassing.
And that's pretty much what he was saying as far as the loss for the third quarter of 2014. I think it was something like $5.6 million.
We could only just cue the losing horn from Price is Right, just bum, 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 bum. I added that fart in there the last second because
you're classy.
Like
you're
Vince
a classy
McMahon.
individual.
He
loves that kind of humor.
I'm sorry, a fart can detension anything. Just take the tension out of the room. Everybody starts laughing. At least the people that are a bit immature like I am.
Truer words have never been spoken.
I know.
But yeah, along with the financial report, WWE noting that the latest subscriber count, 731,000 subscribers, up from the 700,000 announced on July 31st. It's only 31,000 in 3 months, and of those, 28,000 were international.
And yeah, that's another thing is
So only 3,000 more people signed up in the U.S.
I think it's because also they did in China and a lot of other places in Canada. You said that they only broadcast to a certain like province. I think it's because the American WWE Network is so spread out, but for some reason in Canada you can't get it if you live in another province. And apparently because it was
if you live in Western Canada, you're kind of out of luck.
And
because
you need to sort of straighten that out a little bit, because the more you can reach out to in Britain and Canada, the more subscribers you'll get.
Well, we'll get into more of that a little bit because I do have a WWE Network UK story, and I think that's probably why
I saw
online,
Barnett give out about that on Facebook.
Yeah, we've got the Great Harry Barnett. We'll get to him on the other side. We'll go heavy callers in the second segment. We've got Ron, who's been hanging on, Ed the Showstopper, the Great Harry Barnett. We'll get to all of you on the other side. We'll take care of our first time out because we're only here until 12:45 today because of high school football, the last of the preemptions, at least I believe so, where we've got Trenton High School hosting Eastern. That comes up at 12:45. So we'll take care of our first time out, and we'll come back to more fun and hijinks and insanity and who knows what else. We'll take care of it now. This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. False projection. That's, I think, what the terminology that they're using.
They were guesstimating. Get over yourself.
And now, more Pro Wrestling Weekly with your host, Fearon Derry.
It happens to me all the time in math. If I screw up a test, then that's on me. And my parents will kill me. But that's beside the point.
It most certainly is, and thankfully still alive here in studio, Lucas the intern DeSangro, alongside myself, your host of Pro Wrestling Weekly, Fearon Derry.
We had the midterms on Thursday, so let's hope that stays that way. Or else, if not...
Or else I'll be going solo.
If not, Linda...
It's been nice knowing you.
Linda and Steve DeSangro are the killers. Question them. Check the septic tank and the bottom of the Delaware River. That is all. Please don't kill me. So, let's get to those calls.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't even know where to go with that. So I'm gonna, we'll go to the phones. We'll get Ron from Morrisville up here. Ron, welcome to Pro Wrestling Weekly.
How you guys doing this weekend?
Not too bad.
Yeah.
Keeping on.
I've got a comment for both you and Lucas to ponder about. I know I'm not a fan of that Russian, but I was been thinking about this all for the last few weeks. He's the only wrestler in WWE so far that has not been pinned or submitted. Why are they putting him in a push for a championship match like all these other wrestlers? It don't make sense. I mean, he's okay. I don't like his style, but to see him he beat Great Khali even now shows me he should be a number one contender for Brock Lesnar. I mean, I don't know what your opinion on that is, but, all these other guys have gotten their shot. He's been left out, and I'm wondering how the Russian people must feel that he hasn't gotten a shot himself. I don't like him, but, it's just something that's been bothering me for weeks.
Oh, well, I'll be glad to chime in on that. There's kind of a hierarchy to these things. You can't just go right from debut for a couple of months, boom, world title shot. And this is something that they've done before.
I might want to intervene on that because they did that with Sheamus and Del Rio.
Yeah, now Sheamus is your current U.S. champion right in the mid-card. Del Rio not even with the company anymore. But prior to him leaving, he was lingering in the mid-card. So it was a case of too much too soon. You saw that also with Ryback. Ryback he got a title shot pretty early on after mowing through people, and then there really wasn't anywhere to go with him, and he was in a tag team for a while, got off of TV, and now he's back probably to make that climb again, but maybe a little slower.
He got a big pop from the crowd on Monday night, though.
Well, people loved the Feed Me More, so I think that's what it has to do with it. Now, Rusev, it looks like he's going to be in line for a U.S. title shot against Sheamus, which makes sense with the anti-American bit that they're doing, and putting a mid-card title on him. Too. I'm sorry?
And they've done it before, but I mean, here's a guy, I don't know if they gave him the push or not, Goldberg. Remember how he was undefeated for so long? Did he get a title shot? I mean, this is bringing back to the days of Goldberg. I'm thinking Goldberg was another one undefeated for so long. He had a winning streak, but did he ever get a title shot in his day?
Well, yes, but he also went after the United States Championship first, got that, and that further built his credibility up to make him say, oh, wow, this guy's mowing through people and he's the United States champion. Okay, now this guy definitely needs to be in that world championship caliber, but it took the 100 consecutive wins or whatever. I mean, Goldberg is more of an anomaly in that regard because of the way that went down, but you can't, it's not a good idea to just bring somebody in and immediately have them become or have a title shot, a world title shot. If that were the case, when Bo Dallas first came in and he was, 16 and Bo or whatever it was that he was going, do you feel that Bo Dallas should have gotten a world title shot?
Well,
not necessarily.
Yes, I would think so. I mean, because you just look at all these other wrestlers that came out of Nexus. All right, I want to grant you. Okay, he's not. I don't know if he's wrestling right now. The one that was the tag team partner of Ryback.
Curtis Axel.
Kurt Angle's grandson. He had a title shot, and I think didn't he win it on the first shot? He won the Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah, payback Father's Day, 2 years ago.
So that's what makes me think WWE favoritism. They have the old time wrestlers. They make Randy Orton, John Cena. They're all those that always have had title before. Big Show had title. Why? Like I said to Eric once, why don't they get some new blood out there for the title shots? I mean, I would be a good match. The Russian against Brock Lesnar. Grant you, that would be a really good match for WrestleMania. I'd see it in a moment.
The problem is, though, both of those guys are booed by the crowd. So who do you have a rooting interest in a match like that? Usually, when you have
before, though. They've done it before with a heel versus heel. When I first started watching wrestling years ago, we didn't even have the baby faces against the baby faces much. I mean, it was a scientific match where they broke at the ropes. They broke. They didn't have to count 1, 2, 3 break or no. I mean, this wrestling today I don't like. I'm sorry, that's my opinion. It just I don't know. I'm getting bored with it now.
That a lot of people definitely agree with you on. There's a bit of staleness to it, but I think part of the problem with the new blood that you're referencing and getting it in there is if they're constantly trading wins and losses and they're not having any credibility built, if you put somebody like even The Miz, who is a former world champion, against a Randy Orton, a John Cena, a Brock Lesnar, they don't look credible. That, I think, is okay, real quick.
You're putting somebody in like Seth Rollins, who is the Money in the Bank, and he just may become the new champion after this pay-per-view because he might cash in. John Cena wins against Brock Lesnar. What's to say he doesn't cash in and he wins the title? He'd be like, he's new blood. So I mean, that's where I'm coming from.
Okay, well, first we have to get Brock Lesnar in a match to be able to have any of that happen. That's part of the issue in itself.
He's only going to have 2 more matches left. I read it on YouTube that he's only have 2 more matches left.
I don't know. I don't know all the details to his contract structure, but if that's the case, then it's pretty much a shoo-in that whatever his next title defense is, which most people are pointing to the Royal Rumble, that will be the time where he will lose the title, possibly to Cena. That you might have what the possibility is of Cena winning the title from Lesnar and having Seth Rollins cash in that same night. That's certainly a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got your new blood on top that you're looking for.
And going back with the Russian, he's beating top names, and he came out of what, Nexus? Originally, it was one of the Nexus people, and what wrestler could say they could beat top names and not have a gold? I mean, there's other wrestlers from Nexus that Wade Barrett, he got gold. I mean,
yeah, but he's been injured, and I got to get going. Thanks so much for the call. Wade Barrett has had so many injuries. That's been what's plagued him over the course of really the last few years, even going back to the Nexus, and that's 4 years ago we're talking now?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I mean, what are you making a push for Justin Gabriel to get a world title shot? Come on now. Don't be silly. All right, let's go ahead and get Ed from Northeast Philly on the line. Ed, welcome to Pro Wrestling Weekly.
Good afternoon. I'll only take 3 minutes of your time.
What are you, Jamal and... no, that's a different 3 minutes. All right, go on. What do you got?
JCW on November 8th in Keensburg, New Jersey, has Monster Mac and Homicide versus Team 3D.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Team 3 doing the independent tour at this point.
Get the tables.
Exactly.
And November 15th, they have two good cards. One in Broadway with Crime Time, JAPW's 18th anniversary.
Yeah, the 15th, there's a lot of stuff going on.
House of Hardcore I'm going to.
Down in the old ECW arena, yeah. That's Tommy Dreamer's promotion.
Yeah, Pio's going to walk Tommy Dreamer for the last time, I heard.
I was going to say, it's the first I'm hearing of that.
EC3, Eddie Kingston, Gail Kim, and Hardys.
That makes sense. A lot of people will be up our direction earlier that day, and we'll talk a little bit more about that coming up in the next segment.
CCW is going to be on Philly Feud tonight.
Oh gosh, Philly Feud! I haven't had the chance to check that out yet. I'll have to see if I get the chance
What's
to.
Philly Feud?
It's like a local Philadelphia version of the Family Feud. I want to say it's hosted by radio sports talk host Mike Missinelli. I think so. I'm not 100% sure of that, though.
Tonight at 11:30, and
What channel?
I forget when they do the replay.
Well, I think it's PHL 17, but I'm not 100% sure. Oh, it is 17. Okay.
Yeah, they have a replay of it. I forget when.
I'm sure in the days of DVR and TV guides and things like that, I'm sure we'll be able to find that.
Yeah,
got anything else, Ed?
Yeah. That's it.
All right. Thanks so much for the call. Greatly appreciate the look at the local scene as always. Let's go ahead and punch up the great Harry Barnett here. Yeah, that's what I'm working toward here. Still working on the whole. It's like Bert and Mary Poppins operating the whole one-man band thing. There we go. Yeah, exactly. That's the best British reference I could go with. But either way, let's go across the pond to the great Harry Barnett. Harry, welcome to the program.
Well, I think you're probably the favourite person I've been on hold to for a very long time over the past 2 days, Fearon.
Oh, why is that?
Well, I've been on hold to a number of different people for a number of different reasons, including PlayStation support, for a good 2 hours over the last 2 days. But now, of course, I'm finally through to talk to you guys and on what is a great Saturday afternoon. So, it's all worth it.
Well, I'm sure it's great for you because I'm sure you heard the news. WWE announcing yesterday that the WWE Network will be available in the United Kingdom starting this Monday.
although, yeah, that is good news for on, like a Brit that you actually mentioned earlier, I'm afraid I've got some bad news because
Oh, no.
it's not available on PlayStation 4. So my whole logic, as before, was I don't want to sit at a computer, which admittedly is about a foot away from my bed, but still, that's against the point. I don't want to sit at a computer to watch a pay-per-view at 1 a.m. to about 4 a.m. every month. I don't want to sit at a computer at 2 a.m. on a Thursday evening to watch NXT. I want to watch it on the PlayStation in the comfort of being able to watch something, not sitting at a computer desk or watching it on a tiny screen on the phone.
You can't just, like you said, it's like 2 feet from your bed, just prop it up on your lap in bed and just watch it. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be devil's advocate, Harry. You know that even if we
You don't have to try.
Even if we rib each other, we're good buddies. I can be honest here. I do that all the time. If I miss like Hell in a Cell, I just prop it up on my laptop and watch it.
You did. I will say. Oh, good, Harry.
You missed it. Was it past your bedtime?
Past your
Sorry,
bedtime.
No, because
Oh, gosh. All right, enough, you two. Come on, we don't have that kind of time. It is conspicuous by its absence, not mentioning PlayStation 3 or 4, but they do say starting this Monday, it'll be available on the web, iPhone, iPad, and Android devices. And then starting Tuesday, November 18th, they mention it'll be on other platforms, including Xbox One and Xbox 360, Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, Roku streaming devices, and select smart TVs, but nowhere in there do they mention PlayStation 3 or 4.
Maybe that's somebody telling you need to get an Xbox, Harry, so I can play the WWE tournament.
Oh, gosh.
I was trying to actually, that was one of the reasons I was trying to get through to PlayStation support, because the WWE Network support are terrible. They'll give you PR answers. They won't give you a real yes or no or explanatory answer. But I know you're short of time, so as you mentioned, the PlayStation 4, just quickly, the Great Entertainment Network on December 1st presents the WWE 2K15 Open Invitational Tournament.
I'm sorry,
Three spots
Fearon.
left, and to enter, you have to have a PlayStation 4, and you have to write Harry at thegreatentertainmentnetwork.com to enter. Thank you.
I'm so sorry, Fearon. I didn't mean to instigate that. I apologize.
It was coming regardless. That's fine. And I know that regardless of what goes on with the tournament, I'll be sure to follow it. But on the same token, the best I can do is I'll be stuck at home playing with my Wii.
That means two things.
He just pulled a Quagmire. No, Peter. That means two things.
No, I mean the Nintendo video game system. I don't know what y'all are talking about.
I really like watching a box. That means two things, you know.
All right, before this goes downhill any more quickly, but WWE Network say they'll be available for US $9.99 a month, which over in the UK is about £6 25p, something like that.
Wow, $6.25. Get you everything you want
with no commitment. Yes.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that's another thing. They don't have commitment anymore. You can pay month to month, which is
one thing. Sorry, quickly, the commitment thing before it actually ended. You could have just gone through PayPal. If you went through PayPal, you could have just gone and cancelled it through there. That's exactly what I did.
Well, true, because it wasn't exactly available for you. But we don't want to get too much into that because we don't need authorities hunting you down or anything like that.
We'll turn into Harry Bond. No, okay.
No.
That was a terrible joke. I apologize, but I liked it. Okay, and I think that's all that matters.
I'm an idiot. You're drunk.
What'd you say, Harry?
I said, go home. You're drunk.
This isn't that kind of show, and Lucas isn't that kind of kid.
You're gonna get me in trouble, and I didn't even do anything. Yeah, Harry, stop it.
See, this is what happens when you put me in charge. I go ahead and
say something.
All right, Harry. Thanks so much for chiming in all the way across from England. We gotta take care of a little bit of business before we make our way over to high school football. That's coming up in just a little bit. So we'll take care of our second time out. Got some more news and notes today in wrestling history. Birthdays, still a lot to do in the next 10 minutes or so. So we'll go ahead and take care of all that and be right back This is Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Pro Wrestling Weekly presents Today in Wrestling History, November 1. On this date in 1998, ECW held its November to Remember pay-per-view. In the main event, Rob Van Dam, Sabu, and Taz defeated Bam Bam Bigelow, Chris Candido, and Shane Douglas in a six-man tag team match. On this date in 1999, WCW Monday Nitro aired live from Minneapolis, Minnesota. In the main event, Scott Hall defeated Sid Vicious. On this date in 2005, WWE held its Taboo Tuesday pay-per-view. In the main event, John Cena defeated Kurt Angle and Shawn Michaels in a triple threat match to retain the WWE Championship. This has been Today in Wrestling History, November 1.
Hi, this is Jim Cornette, and you're listening to Pro Wrestling Weekly with Fearon Derry on 1490 WBCB.
Welcome back to Pro Wrestling Weekly here on 1490 WBCB and online at WBCB1490.com. Fearon Derry here with you alongside Lucas the intern.
Yay, I'm here.
Yes, you are. All right, a lot of stuff to talk about and not a lot of time to do it.
I do want to sort of do a thing. It's a new thing I'd like to call Lucas's stupid... Lucas's
you do plenty of that already.
Lucas's stupid decisions. Well, not stupid decisions, but it's just like a face palm. Yeah, the face palm moment of the week.
We got a shortened show, and you're going to debut this now?
Yeah.
You can't tease it for next week?
Okay, fine. The face palm. I'll have two face palm moments then.
For next week. Okay, that's not a bad idea. All right, some quick bits of news and notes. Your boy, CM Punk, at the San Diego Comic-Con.
Oh. That was already.
Oh, yeah, that happened already. He led a group of men through the Walking Dead escape during the San Diego Comic-Con. The video's up on the Nerdist YouTube page.
Yeah.
Seeing as you're a fan of the Nerdist, you've probably already seen it.
No, I didn't see that yet. I saw the
things
one
of
with
that
him.
nature.
We were listening to him and Chris Hardwick in 2012, that whole conversation.
Oh, I know. I'm using that as an example. Former UFC and Bellator fighter training to become a pro wrestler. I don't know if you heard about this or not. Former UFC and Bellator fighter Matthew Riddle is training under Bill Wiles, the Blue Meanie, and Danny Cage at the Monster Factory to become a professional wrestler.
Way to go, guys.
Riddle was the winner of Season 7 of The Ultimate Fighter as a member of Rampage Jackson's team, and his UFC career, well, ended due to multiple positive marijuana tests. Insert your own Rob Van Dam joke here.
Ah.
Yeah.
One of a kind. You know.
Okay,
that'll work.
That joke just went up in smoke. Royal Rumble tickets are on sale now. Tickets went on sale at 10 o'clock this morning for WWE's Royal Rumble, which will be held January 25th in Philadelphia at the Wells Fargo Center. And, yeah, we've got enough time for it. That's right, it's back. Sinomania, just 2 weeks away. Saturday, November 15th, Sinomania 8 at Bucks County Technical High School, 610 Worcester Road in Fairless Hills, PA. The announced guests so far, former WWF Tag Team Champions Matt and Jeff, the Hardy Boys. Rick and Scott, the Steiner Brothers. Former WWE superstar previously known as Alberto Del Rio.
Is he like the artist formerly known as Princeton? Is that like the thing they're going under?
Well, no, it's more of a trademarking thing.
Yeah.
King Kong Bundy. Stevie Richards from ECW and WWE. Former WWF champion Sid Vicious.
Psycho Sid.
I'm kind of looking forward to that one.
Yeah.
Brian Knobbs and Jerry Saggs, the Nasty Boys.
Nice.
I've interviewed them here on the show before. Kurt Hawkins. The Queen of Extreme, Francine.
Okay.
Ricardo Rodriguez. Rick Rod. Yes, very much so.
Alberto.
All right, yeah, I was going to say, if you drag it out any longer, you'll miss the first quarter of the game. ECW's Sabu. Longtime WWE announcer Howard Finkel.
The Fink!
The Boogeyman. If you're going to react to all these, it's going to take forever to get through all this.
No, it won't.
The Blue Meanie. Also, Gail Kim. Velvet Sky.
Nice.
Of course so.
Very nice.
Bully Ray. Yeah. Rob Van Dam.
Yes.
I know we just made a joke, but whatever. Oh. Maybe I'll never mind. Drew McIntyre will be there.
Nice.
Former WWF Tag Team Champions Axe and Smash of Demolition.
Nice.
How are they not in the Hall of Fame? All right, that's another discussion for another show. Ethan Carter III, Nick Dinsmore, formerly known as Eugene, and WWE Hall of Famer Nikolai Volkov. All at Sinomania 8, just 2 weeks away. And, of course, there'll also be us. You and I will be broadcasting live from Sinomania Pro Wrestling Weekly in the house.
Yes.
Settle down, Lucas Bryan.
No.
Stifle yourself.
Fine.
For now, at least. Yes, 2 weeks from now, we will be in the house at Sinomania, broadcasting live from noon to 1. Check out George's 3 locations for all your sports and wrestling memorabilia needs. Their original store at 7755 New Falls Road in Levittown, in the Oxford Valley Mall in the Sears Court on the lower level, and their newest location in the Neshaminy Mall in the movie theater wing. For more information on Sinomania 8, give George's a call at 215-943-2475 or visit them on the web at georgescollectibles.com. All right, we've got very little time, and I'm going to go prep for some things as far as getting connected here. So in the meanwhile, let's bring up John from Northeast Philly. John, welcome to Pro Wrestling Weekly.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Pretty good.
Not too bad.
You know, with you just mentioned Sinomania and who's going to be there, and because of, my work schedule and everything, I had a 33% chance of going.
Oh, that's pretty
But
cool.
now that I hear Scott Steiner's going to be there and you guys are going to be there, I got a 66 2/3% chance of going. See that?
Oh, no.
Yes.
Favorite all-time bits.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I think I put that on one of the webisodes while I was preempted. I put the whole Scott Steiner bit as part of that, the 141 2/3% chance.
It's just, and the sad part is it works when you do the math. Like that.
It does.
Like, I was never really good at math, but I mean, he got it, and that just really bothers me.
And and people say he's stupid, and that's not true. We actually did the math right. I bet you. I actually showed that to my teacher, one of my math teachers, and she's like, "Yeah, that's pretty much it." I'm like,
I mean, it makes no sense, but it adds up perfectly.
Yeah. People think a Roydie Magoo can't do math, and that's not true.
Well, yeah, it's one of those things you can't see on the WWE Network, regardless of platform. But then again, look at where it was said and where it happened. Would you want to watch it anyway?
I don't know. So,
but it's on the WWE Network. It's just, I think a lot of the negativity for it comes from a multitude of ways. I know we're up against the wall here, so I'll keep it short. I think ultimately what I think it is, I think people don't want to see these pay-per-views because they know if it's Cena involved in the main event, I think a lot of people have this expectation for him to win. So why pay a monthly subscription to watch pay-per-views for free when you can watch Raw the next night and get what it is you expected?
Because there's more than just the predictable pay-per-views. You still got Countdown and stuff like that. They still have a lot of good content, and people seem to forget that. And it's just like, don't focus. You can still do like a nostalgia run. They have so much content, you wouldn't be able to watch it within a month.
There's so much going on in the network, and I think they need to have more of maybe the possibility of opening up like a social kind of aspect to it, kind of like an Xbox Live, how they do all that with the profiles and the friends list. Maybe they need to go a little bit more dynamic on it, not just have it like a streaming service like a Hulu.
You know what I
maybe
think?
They need to get involved somehow.
You know what I think would be pretty cool? It's like if they do. Speaking of which, because WWE 2K15, they debuted that came out this week. First of all, what do you think of it? Do you think it's good?
New packaging, same product. I'll get more in depth through the Facebook page. It is me. I'm waiting for Halo, but I've been watching a lot of the shows through the network. I love it. I love being able to watch anything as I want on demand, and it's just more options for people to get out there. But I read the report about how X amount of members canceled their subscriptions, and there's a segment of fans that kind of want to see the network burn, and I just truly don't understand why people would want to see something like that fail, because if it fails, anyone trying to do something similar or gets a hold of all those licenses to have one mass streaming service, they're going to see the number one company had their network fail, and they're going to say, well, why should I go through that?
Yeah. I really think, though, back to promoting giving the network more of an oomph. I feel like maybe through the network you have like stuff like they could promote a WWE Xbox Live tournament, like sort of like what Harry's doing, but give it like or something like an incentive if you play the game, you can, or they give you like like if the network did promoting like they did like reviews and stuff, or they showed like gameplay, and if they had a the winner of this tournament gets like a free subscription to the network for a month or something like that.
Yeah, like share content, have user interactive things. I mean, it just makes sense and it just works. I mean, there's a lot of avenues they can do.
Or like if you win the tournament this month, you get like an exclusive video from the WWE on the WWE
to a
Network.
show in your hometown.
Yeah. Yeah, or
there's so many ways.
Yeah, there is, and I think that would be pretty cool. It's just the fact that so many wrestling fans they're unhappy with the content, so they think everything else is going to be crap. That's not.
Well, the trolls do have a way of manipulating the system.
That is, and I don't understand why. They live under a bridge. Why would you want to talk to them?
Yeah, or they star in a movie called Origins, and it's a Leprechaun Origins.
Oh, don't call Hornswoggle a troll. He's a nice lad. Don't bag on the Leprechaun, my friend. That's just not right.
Well,
I'm gonna get in trouble.
Not around anymore, so it won't,
Yeah.
But it is what it is. But the network, to me, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it, and it's just great. Being able to watch it anywhere and everywhere without without a cable box or a satellite receiver, it just makes sense. So I think people need to just look past their reservations for it and just go all in. It makes sense.
I really enjoy too, because I get to go back and watch the WrestleManias that I never got to see, and watch some of the pay-per-views. Like I'm gonna go back probably when I get home and watch Money in the Bank 2011 or 20. Yeah, I think 2011 was when CM Punk and Cena had that match. Because you see the videos like the recaps, but you never get to see the actual match and see whether or not it's a good match. I got to see Undertaker and Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 26. That was a great match.
Both of them. And then you can watch the Monday Nitros. They have the Nitro library.
Yeah.
If you don't like watching Raw, then just turn on Nitro.
Doesn't matter. You're like still support the company.
It's a win-win. It really is foolish. I think there's a lot of just adverse negative stuff from the internet, which is causing it. I don't understand it.
Yeah, really. Imagine if we went like public with this conversation. If we could only just try and talk these leptons into watching the network.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not a spokesperson for anything. I never claimed to be, unless it's Xbox One. But I would definitely recommend the network wholeheartedly. I think it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
There is a lot of content, and they're adding more and more to it.
They actually debuted this Tuesday night WWE Rivalries, which they...
Yeah, you can filter content, too. You can block out things. If you're a parent, you don't want it aired, you can block it out. It's just, come on, people.
If you don't want to see ECW, anything
December
that was...
to December.
Well, I just meant more any of the original ECW content that was a bit too extreme. That
they only go up to like 96 on that though too. So I'm not saying that's a bad
pay-per-views.
thing. No, with
exactly,
with
So, some of the Joel Gertner limericks and things like that.
Gertner.
Strong language.
Yeah, very strong language, violence toward women.
So it's like strong language. That language that works out at a gym or something.
Strong language. It means that it's.
How about coarse language?
Coarse language. So
stuff
it's like
that
salt?
hasn't been filtered.
It's like salt. Then coarse salt.
The language can be salty.
Yeah. True.
Performance-enhanced language.
Okay, yeah, that works.
Performance enhanced.
I mean, it did get them a lot of ratings, so I guess that's the truth.
And my friend Chip was telling me those ones.
Oh dear. And there we have it.
All right, boys.
All right, John. Thanks so much for calling in. Oh goodness. All right. We're still trying to figure out some technical things here to get the high school game coming up to you. Birthdays. How quickly I forget to mention that we got the birthdays here. From 1978, former WWE superstar Tyler Rex, turning 36 today.
Well, good for him.
And 1944, WWE Hall of Famer and arguably the greatest manager of all time, Bobby the Brain Heenan, turns 70 today.
70?
70 years old.
Jeez.
I know. He has had a lot of health issues the past decade that, physically have plagued him, but, mentally he is still as sharp now as he was 30 years ago.
God bless him.
Yeah, it's both amazing and a shame at the same time that has occurred.
It really is a shame. You see a lot of these wrestlers that, like Jake the Snake, that's another one. He's if you ever want to talk about a sorrowful life yet a comeback story, you got to talk about Jake the Snake. Just the trials and tribulations, and then the triumph, and then the fall.
Well, really he had his demons. He's overcome those. And he had an issue with cancer, and he's I believe in the process of overcoming that.
I just really hope that he can. It's just like a sorrowful life. You really think about it, but then in the end, I hope it gets better for him.
Yeah, most definitely. All right, as we're... can't believe I didn't mention this out earlier. John Cena launching workout gear. Did you hear about that? Or see that at all?
Oh, Cena is?
Yeah, John Cena introducing a new line of workout training apparel.
Huh, that seems pretty cool.
Speaking of performance-enhanced anything. The slogan is, step up, do the work, earn it.
Actually, I would probably buy that workout gear, considering I started at the gym. Are you wearing the new John Cena? Why, yes, I am. Why don't you go buy it and watch the network for $9.99?
Yeah, but then you wouldn't be stepping up and doing the work.
Yes, I would.
You'd be stepping up and putting the money. Well, if you're watching WWE Network, you're not putting the work into the gym.
You watch it afterwards.
Or you're watching it while you're on the treadmill. Is that kind of where you're going with this?
You could definitely do that. You might rack up data charges unless the gym has free Wi-Fi, which I doubt it does because, millennials these days.
Really? You're going to argue about the state of the gym scenario?
No, millennials in general.
Oh, millennials. Okay.
Millennials don't care about data.
Yeah, because they don't have to pay the bill.
They care about Wi-Fi, though. I heard, this is a little bit off topic, but I heard that the Franklin
Off topic from you?
No, I know. The Franklin Mills Mall is now offering, with the work they're getting done on it, is now offering free Wi-Fi.
Huh.
You got to be kidding me, right? So, yes, the mall, where they go to hang out with their friends, where less social interaction will occur now because they'll be deep in their little magic boxes they call phones. I just got the new iPhone, and as much as you may think that I am face deep in it, I'm not. I use it for calling. When I'm bored, I'll play it. But if there's a social interaction going on, I will look the person in the eye and talk to them. And it infuriates me that not a lot of people my age know how to do that. Read a book. Go outside.
There's a song about that, which we won't bring up too much further here. I'll show you after the show.
You will have to.
Yes.
That's a new rule. You bring it up, you have to tell me.
I will leave that. Yeah. Well, I can't bring it up here on the air. Again, the performance enhanced language.
I just don't understand why you can't have a social interaction like the good old days where you could talk to somebody and not have to worry about them taking out their phone and texting. It looks like a chimp peeling a peanut at the zoo, just like, ooh, just texting on their phones, which you're doing right now, Fearon.
Well, yes, I'm communicating with Dan Wing to get this game up on the air.
I feel like an idiot. I apologize.
That'll be a drop later.
Yeah. I'm an idiot. I apologize. That's a new one. That's the updated version,
Yes, that's it. That is where communication is, because I can't talk to you and talk to Dan to get these. This is behind the scenes working. We're breaking kayfabe, breaking down the fourth wall.
We're breaking the fourth wall. Waves to the camera.
We're exposing the business.
Oh.
Horror.
That's what the network does. Okay, get over yourselves.
Not to be confused with Hogan's "yah" from this past Monday.
Brother.
Did you catch that?
No, I didn't.
When Hogan came out to deliver his plug for the Susan G. Komen and whatnot, because Raw was in San Antonio, Texas, he kind of, in his whole spiel, did a what you gonna do when Komen Mania runs wild through San Antonio, Texas. Yah. Sounded like that ZZ Top song. That's exactly what.
Yeah. I think, considering we're still on a bit of delay, I'm going to talk about the network a little bit. I mean, not the.
Well,
network.
I was going to say we're just about ready to get out of here. So I mean, we'll.
I suggest you guys buy WWE 2K15 for like the ones that can't don't have the Xbox One, it's a great game. You know, the graphics are the same, but I like the showcase mode. I'm doing the hustle, loyalty, and disrespect with CM Punk. They're doing a good job with it. After that, I'm going to play the Shawn Michaels Triple H, and then also if you buy the season pass, there's a lot more showcase modes that you can do, such as Path of the Warrior with the Ultimate Warrior, One More Match, which is Christian and Randy Orton, the Hall of Pain with Mark Henry.
One more match with Christian? I can't imagine where they came up with that.
And there's also the fact that if you buy the season pass, you get Page's downloadable content.
Yes,
that's my impression of her theme song. Really, it just sounds like any Bruce Springsteen song, except not as raspy, you know.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
I think in the background, that's the awful singing alarm going off.
Yeah.
No, not necessarily. All right, we're going to take care of. We're going to bring you the IRN USA radio news coming up at the top of the hour here, and we're going to work on figuring out the connectivity issues. But coming up, we've got high school football action. Trenton hosting Eastern High School. That's coming up here on 1490 WBCB. We'll be back next week for the pre-Signamania edition of Pro Wrestling Weekly.
Yes.
Serving you better than ever before. This is 1490 WBC.